Today we're making possibly one of the prettiest dinners that I've ever made, but even more, we're making this red wine pan sauce that is to die for with the incredible amount of buttery umami goodness that comes from such an easy recipe.
Hi there y'all, I'm Tom, and this is Empty Pantry Entrees, a place where you can come to learn all the skills you need to make delicious creations from only the odds and ends in your pantry. And truth be told, today's video is a bit of a spur-of-the-moment idea. See, I've been reading online that there have been some folks out there that have been using their broiling element on the oven to blacken chicken in the same sort of manner that you would when grilling out, only indoors and smokeless and also upside down. So if I'm gonna be honest, I just saw this and I knew immediately, I gotta try this out. Because of this, we're gonna be running the test case today with an amazing meal. Today's menu includes a skewered harissa chicken with accompanying pan sauce, as well as a side of roasted green beans and some nice, pillowy, soft cilantro lime rice. Honestly, the more that I think about it, the more I'm getting hungry. So without further ado, I think it's about time for us to move on.
Step 1 is to set the oven to a broil setting and place a cast iron right on the mid-rack so that it can charge up a whole lot of heat energy. Next step is to soak a few bamboo skewers in a small pool of water so that they're a bit more heat resistant in the oven. And most importantly today is the harissa, which is the star of the show. This is a spicy and slightly sweet blend of peppers that is from North Africa and is going to function as the main flavor in tonight's dinner. Look for this around the international section of your grocery store, particularly if there's an area for sauces and spreads. The chicken today is going to be rather straightforward. Slice into 2 pieces to increase the surface area and allow them to cook quicker when skewered up. Pat dry with a paper towel to remove excess moisture and toss into a bowl, along with 1/2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 to 2 tablespoons of the harissa blend. Toss that around and then skewer it up, distributing the meat between the 4 sticks. These will act as the hanging racks above the cast iron in the oven. Now, very carefully retrieve your hot cast iron and balance your skewers along the edge where they won't droop too far down. I repeat this now, be incredibly careful here because that cast iron is hot. I mean, just listen to that sizzle. Once positioned properly, bring that over to the oven and send it on its way, along with a tray of green beans, onions, a bit of paprika, black pepper, and garlic powder. The green beans here aren't really the star of the show today, so they're not going to get as much film time. If you are wondering why we preheated the cast iron in the oven, it comes down to the fact that we're not going to be getting real grilled temperatures from our broiler. See, in our little makeshift oven that we have drawn up here, with the heating elements and the rack shown here, the heating element is brought up to temperature either through the gas burning around it, or, in my case, the electrical current being sent through it. Then, when it's at temperature, the heat is transferred to the food through infrared radiation, little photons or packets of light that smack into the food and deposit their energy. By preheating and storing a whole lot of heat energy in the cast iron, it too sends photons up from the bottom, causing it to heat from the bottom and cook from both sides. Also, my blackened chicken looks suspiciously like watermelon. With those chicken now broiling away for about 5 to 7 minutes, take this time to pour yourself a hefty glass of red wine. Think Malbec or something similar. But, more particular, you're saving about half a cup of that for the pan sauce itself. The rest is just because you deserve it, it's been a long day. Pull those chicken skewers out and get a temperature reading before flipping them. My skewers clocked in around 140 Fahrenheit, meaning it'll only be a few more minutes on the second side. When they do come out fully cooked and slightly blackened, slide them off their skewers and cover them on a plate to the side while we make our sauce. For this sauce, you'll toss in 1/3 of a small white onion finely diced, and about 1 tablespoon of olive oil to start the sizzling. Then, once the onions start to get a bit of color, toss in 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and man, that is starting to look good. Next up is a fat teaspoon of garlic mince, and half a cup of the red wine from earlier. Turning the stove on now to a medium-low heat. Let that sizzle away for 1 to 2 minutes for the alcohol to simmer off. Then pour in 3/4 cup of veggie broth. Lastly is about 1 to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to thicken everything up. At this point, all that's left is whisking to break up the clumps, and then let simmer gently until the desired consistency. At the last moment though, I figured also an extra teaspoon of the harissa would really take this pan sauce to the next level, but that's simply because I can't get enough of the stuff, probably because it has garlic in it. Plate up your green beans alongside a solid portion of basmati rice drizzled with lime juice and cilantro. Then spoon in as much of that delectable pan sauce as your heart desires. This sauce honestly takes any sort of chicken or steak dish to the next level. A little bit of oil, butter, onion, garlic, and alcohol, and you've got yourself a steakhouse quality pan sauce. How does it all taste though? Freaking unbelievable. I'm incredibly happy with how this one turned out. That about proves that it is possible to grill indoors with your broiler. Does it give you the same smoky flavor and the exact same sort of grill marks? No, not really. But it does give you the next best thing when you're stuck in the apartment life and you don't have any other options. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.